I've never told anyone this story, not because I'm ashamed of it, not because something terrible happened, but because some nights don't belong in daylight. Some nights live better in silence, somewhere between a memory and a confession. And that night changed everything. It started with rain. Not the soft kind either. It was the kind of rain that turned the whole city into a blur of headlights and reflections, the kind that made every street look like it was hiding a secret. I had stayed too late at work, long after everyone else had gone home. The office was almost completely dark, except for the lamp on my desk and the pale glow of the city outside the windows. I remember checking the time, 11:47 p.m. I was exhausted, distracted, ready to leave. My coat was in one hand, my phone in the other, and my mind was somewhere far away. Then I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, familiar. I turned around and there he was. Elias. I hadn't seen him in almost 8 months. 8 months of pretending I was over him. 8 months of telling myself whatever had existed between us was nothing more than bad timing, unfinished conversations, and a little too much imagination. 8 months of silence undone in a single second by the sight of him standing in the doorway, rain darkening the shoulders of his coat, one hand still wrapped around an umbrella he clearly hadn't used fast enough. He looked at me the way people look at a place they never meant to come back to. Still here late? His voice was calm, but something in it landed harder than it should have. Maybe it was the hour. Maybe it was the rain. Maybe it was the fact that I had spent months preparing for every possible version of seeing him again, except the real one. I could ask you the same thing. He stepped inside, letting the door close quietly behind him. The sound echoed through the empty office, and suddenly the room felt smaller, more intimate, like the walls had leaned in to listen. I was nearby, he said, saw your light on. Nearby. Such an innocent word, such a dangerous one. He shouldn't have come up. I knew that immediately. I think he knew it too, but neither of us said it. We just stood there, two people pretending the air between us wasn't heavy with everything we had never resolved. The silence stretched. Not awkward, worse, the kind of silence that remembers things. I set my phone down on the desk just to have something to do with my hands. So, you just happened to be in the building at midnight? A small smile touched his mouth. You always hated vague answers. There it was, that pull, that old rhythm, the one I had spent months trying to forget. Elias moved closer, not enough to invade my space, just enough to make me aware of it. Rain and cedarwood clung to him, mixed with something warmer I couldn't name, and it hit me all at once how dangerous memory can be when it arrives with a scent attached. I didn't know if you'd still be here, he said. I almost left. Maybe you should have. I meant it to sound teasing. It didn't. His eyes held mine for a second too long. Maybe. That was the problem with him. He never raised his voice, never pushed, never said too much. He just let a moment breathe until it became unbearable. Thunder rolled somewhere in the distance, low and steady, and the lights flickered once overhead. Outside, the city had dissolved into silver rain and shadow. We were suspended in our own little pocket of time, and I hated how quickly my pulse remembered him. I turned away first, reached for my bag, for my keys, for anything that felt normal. You disappeared. The room went still. When I looked back at him, the smile was gone. I know. That was it. 2 words. No excuse, no performance. Just the truth sitting between us like a lit match. I folded my arms, more for protection than warmth. Do you? He set the umbrella against the wall and ran a hand over the back of his neck, like he was trying to decide how honest he was willing to be. There are 100 versions of that answer, he said quietly. None of them make me look good. Try me. He laughed once, softly, but there was no humor in it. I left because staying felt worse. I stared at him. What does that even mean? He looked down for a moment, then back at me. It means every time I was around you, I wanted to say things I had no right to say. My heartbeat stuttered. Outside, the rain battered the windows harder, like the storm had decided subtlety was overrated. Inside, I could hear nothing but the hum of the building and the space between one breath and the next. I should have shut it down right there. I should have grabbed my coat, said goodnight, and left with whatever dignity I had left. Instead, I heard myself ask, "And now?" Elias took one step closer. Just one, enough to make me feel it. "Now," he said. "I'm tired of pretending I came here for any reason other than you.